Hi Aries, welcome to your end of June 2019 General Tarot Update. It's Rena here. So I'm just shuffling the cards and we're going to see what is on tap for you in terms of the symbolism of these cards. Maybe some synchronicity here. Interesting. So we have several major arcana cards, so I wonder if this is going to be quite a period of time where, you know, the last half of June, where you feel a sense of a lot of movement, a lot of change. Major arcana can signal change, and we do have the sun going into the cardinal sign of Cancer at the solstice. And because of this, this is going to square off to your sun sign. And so this is the 4th house for you, Cancer. And so that activation and subsequent inner planets in Cancer, including the solar eclipse in early July, which could, you know, the impact of that might even be felt in June, can all lead to you having a sense of change taking place in a quite pronounced way, and maybe in multiple areas of your life. Who knows? I mean, it's this is a general reading, but looking at it astrologically, I could certainly see that. In the center here, the heart of the matter, we have the Wheel of Fortune. And this is a card of, actually this card connects to Jupiter. So Jupiter is in a fire energy, in Sagittarius. And actually, it was funny because I was just reading about how Jupiter is visible in June. And the full moon in Sagittarius is occurring during this time frame. So we have, you know, two Sagittarius energies that for you affect your 9th house. Now it's interesting because the Wheel of Fortune is a card of some kind of perhaps good luck. You know, they talk about the wheel turning in your favor, and this is in the upright position, so we would say something positive. And that can be something that you are experiencing. And even in the past position, this kind of, you know, seals the deal here, because this is the 9 of Cups. This is the card of wish fulfillment. Now, interestingly, this card connects to, the number 9 connects to Jupiter too. I think this card connects to Jupiter as well. And maybe Jupiter and Pisces, I'm not sure. But definitely Jupiter in the 9th house is Sagittarius and Jupiter, so there you go. But there's that sense of with the 9 of Cups, wish fulfillment, but sometimes too much of a good thing, because the excess that Jupiter is associated with, you know, eat, drink, and be merry. But sometimes, you know, people are doing too much of, you know, all of the above, and that can have its own consequences. But it's considered a very positive card in the upright position. So we have these two cards, past and present, that indicate perhaps you are noticing that things are starting to work out for you, Aries. Maybe you've gone through some kind of a rough patch where you felt like you couldn't catch a break, or it was much more difficult. And of course, you've recently had Uranus leave your sign, and there may be some connection with that. That was back, I believe, in March. So the other thing too is, well, I was going to say that Uranus in your sign may have created certain curveballs that were thrown your way in the past 7 years or so. And you may have felt like you were always kind of like having to not clean up a mess, but kind of adapt to a new situation. And so there may be more stability in your life right now. But the Wheel of Fortune is obviously going to be something good for you, and you may feel the sense of alignment in your life that you really welcome. And then we look at the higher message, and we have the Hangman. And this is the card that is associated with Neptune, Pisces. And this is a card of surrender. So this is the higher message. And it may be like kind of explaining, if you had like a difficult patch in your life, like a rough patch in your life, it may have explained why that had to occur. It may have been that you were trying to control a situation too much, and it ended up creating resistance. And once you just said, I give up, you just kind of let go, everything started to get better because you were no longer trying to force an issue. And I mean, this could be in any area of your life. The Hangman is also a card of, when I say surrender, also a waiting period. And sometimes we could kind of combine those two ideas where you have to let go and be passive. Aries is a cardinal sign. It's a fire sign. There's a great desire to take action with Aries, to do something about it. And you can't always do something about various things in your life. And if you have a problematic situation, and you're just compelled to try to solve the problem, it may be that the answer is to not do. That there's this joke. How they say, don't just sit there, do something. Sometimes it should be, don't just do something, sit there. And that's kind of like a joke about meditation. And it's the truth. Sometimes you have to be passive, and the word passive is not a bad word. It's not a terrible word. And it's hard. It's hard for an Aries person to not do something. But maybe you kind of like, out of disgust, just said, I quit, I give up, and then things started to flow better. What crosses you is the Four of Pentacles. You see the man, and he's like holding on to his money with dear life. Pentacles relate to material resources, so of course money can be one of them. But it's also this idea of, greed can be associated with the Four of Pentacles. I don't really think of greed per se with the sign of Aries. I think of it more of carelessness with money. Investing it in the wrong place, giving it to people who are not there for the right reasons. Because I see a lot of generosity with Aries, and I feel that Aries people tend to be more prosperous because of their generosity. I really see a correlation between that. However, it could be that, a Wheel of Fortune, you get, maybe this is some kind of monetary gain. And it's like kind of saying you need to have better control of your money so that you don't take this blessing and squander it, okay? And there could be like an earth sign individual who is kind of raining on your parade. I was going to say Capricorn because that's the earth sign that I see you most attracted to. The other earth signs are Virgo as well as Taurus. And this person, if it's a romantic partner, they may be much more, like if it's, let's say it's your spouse, and you get, let's say you've gotten this money or maybe like a big raise or something, and they're like, okay, we're going to put that in the bank. And you're like, ugh, I want to enjoy my money. I don't want to just be too stingy and just, you know, because there's two sides of the coin, pardon the pun. I mean, you know, sometimes when you enjoy your financial gain, then it motivates you to want to continue. Because if you're just like not being able to enjoy it, and I'm talking about in a more immediate way, it's hard to really motivate oneself, especially for an Aries, because you tend to like that instant gratification. What's coming in, or the advice, I think this is more like advice, is the Four of Swords. This is a card of retreat and rest, okay? So going back to the 10 of, or sometimes because I just saw the 10, to the Wheel of Fortune. I, for some reason, get the feeling that perhaps you've been wanting something for a long time, and it's kind of like maybe you've had a hard, like I said before, a rough patch that has taken its toll on you, and you finally have something come in that is wanted, that you've been waiting for, and it feels like a sense of relief. You may feel a sense of elation. However, you still may require some rest and relaxation, some R&R, because you may be depleted. You may have really been stressed. And with the number 4 being about foundation and order, to me, that's how I see the number 4. And swords being about thoughts, communication. You may need to get your thoughts in order. You may need to perhaps go offline, do a what do they call that? A digital fast or whatever. Get off of social media, because this person is alone in this card. This person is, you know, not communicating with others, is really kind of resting in the silence. And that may be something, it's not just a matter of taking more naps. It could be something much more organized, where you make a concerted effort to cut down on extraneous communication, you know, whether it be online or in your daily life, because you realize that it has affected you in a negative way, and now that you have had something good happen, you want to kind of keep it going. And then the outcome is the Fool card, and this is a card I associate with Aries. This is associated with the planet Uranus, and it's really about doing your own thing and going your own way, and the 0 representing the unknown, and kind of like being all about the journey and not the destination. And you know, the color yellow, I see it as a background in several of these cards. That is, the color yellow is associated with the 3rd chakra, and it's the power chakra. And I think this is about taking back your power, Aries. You may have felt that it was that you have been depleted for some reason, and now something has come about that has made you feel like you are back to your old self again. Actually, I was noticing too, even with the Four of Pentacles, the pentacles are, colored with yellow, gold, power, currency. That can be a form of material power, is money. So all of these things, but with the Fool card, it's really about, letting go of old baggage and starting anew, and not knowing, where you're going or what you're going to do, but just wanting that adventure, which is really up Aries' alley. And this may be in any area of your life. Maybe it's in every area. Maybe you're really like seeing a lot of shifts in your life, Aries. The wheel, look with the Wheel of Fortune, just think about life as cycles, different cycles in life. And sometimes we go through seasons that seem very challenging for some reason. And then we go into times when it seems like everything is going our way, and that would be symbolic of this card for you now. But it doesn't mean, even if you get your wish fulfilled, it doesn't mean that all of a sudden you forget everything that you've been dealing with. You may still feel some negative effects, and that's why I'm saying with the Four of Swords, you may need time as kind of like building up your energy reserves so that you can start a new chapter in your life. So anyway, very intriguing. I hope that you enjoyed this, Aries. If you'd like a personal reading, the link is below. Have a great rest of June. Take care. Bye.